However, if you wish, you may ask at the military outpost. They will give you correct documentation if you are authorized to do this.
That works for me.
He gives a nod and then returns to looking out over and making sure everything's okay. Eddie seems a bit nervous and he's looking after Bubba in the car.
Ruben kind of like dips in and it's like, yeah, I guess they are talking about some kind of military outpost that they want us to stop by and get authorization at. I have no idea what that means, but that seems like...
I'm assuming that outpost is near Houston anyways. Might as well keep going.
Jay does answer your last question, however, before, when you mentioned why it's so well maintained. He says, well, it'd be them, sir. He gestures towards the military. Why keep everything nice and clean? They're the ones who, well, have made sure that all my stocks lasted all this time. And not to mention, have made sure that this place has been, well looked after.
Why would they
I imagine you don't go through a whole lot of stock when these guys shoot most people who show up on site.
Oh, there is also Jerry, of course.
Jerry?
Yes, one moment. And he basically presses a small button under the counter and you see this like floating little drone float around and start cleaning windows. It's basically like a flying Roomba.
Wait, why do these robots help you maintain the place?
Well, and you hear from behind you, this is a strategic location. Cover must be maintained.
It also probably helps that they probably don't experience any trouble from raiders or azure beasts, so I mean it makes their job considerably easier to maintain the spot, I imagine.
Criminals are detained or neutralized.
What do you do with the beasts who kill around the perimeter?
They are incinerated.
Sense.
Enemy combatants are always incinerated after looking over for potential intel.
What about other humanoids that have come to this place and are not authorized? Where do you take them?
If they are criminal intent, then they are to be arrested. If they resist, they are neutralized and incinerated. However,
criminals, where are they taken?
They are taken to the compound.
I assume that we do not have permission to go to the compound.
You have no reason to get into the compound.
Sense. Right, the outpost it is then. Hopefully we'll be able to get some documents that the trust buckets will like.
Oh, if you do wish to, get the rest of my goods, he gestures towards the storeroom. You're free to enter inside.
You got some hard liquor?
Sadly, sir, this place is a dry establishment.
Peanut bags, maybe?
However, I can provide you some orange juice if you desire.
I'll pass.
Integra looks and goes, I'll have some. You can hear her say, holy crap, it's real!
Real?
She tastes it. It's real!
It can't be real. Where the hell would he get the fucking oranges?
Well,
I mean, it might not be real oranges, but it could be real orange juice.
Okay, give me some of that. I wanna try it too now.
Integra shares her glass with you.
Holy
It is
shit!
in fact taste real. This stuff isn't as rare as everything else since there are still underground farms and there's still oranges being made. But how can I say this? It's mostly watered down so everybody has some.
Holy shit, what is this sorcery?
Ruben just kind of like pockets a sample in a vial and doesn't say anything.
Well, Jay actually motions you towards a storeroom with him. Like, come and follow me. And you can see that there's actually a pole where his legs should be. There's a pole on a track which he can move around certain areas of the establishment from. So essentially he's going towards the storeroom and motions for you with one of his 6 hands.
Logan scratches
Yeah, I
his
guess-
head and follows him.
Yeah, same here.
As he opens the storeroom, it's sort of a gruesome sight at first. There's no bodies, but there's definitely the gear of criminals laying on some tables, but he passes those by without any acknowledgement before he reaches the storeroom, which is looking strange. There seems to be three. 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There seems to be 5 pods just laying where the fridges used to be, because you can tell this because there's wires and the fridges are currently piled up at the back of the storeroom, but these look like military pods.
Are
This is
those
an
supply
interesting thing to
drops?
have in a corner store.
Well, you see, sir, there are certain things the military uses in order to ensure safety of certain important people. I could
These look anything like the pods that we were kept in.
kind of, yes. Instead, though, they seem to exude an aura of, well, ice and very, very cold.
Jay, what's up with all this gear here?
Well, I had to clean up the establishment after some undesirables attempted to take what they wanted.
I'm assuming you don't mind if I have a look through this stuff?
Of course not, sir.
Ruben kind of just like approaches the one of the tankers. He's trying. So these don't have any like glass windows or anything like that, do they?
They do. They look like, if you think about it, they look kind of like escape pods / well, cryopods, what you were kept in. So think about what-
Sorry, my
Hmm?
my headset is quiet all of a sudden.
Weird.
Oh, by the way, Ash, do you want me to roll perception? Go for the gear or...
Yeah. Roll me perception if anybody's going through the gear.
Oh, sorry about that. I had to switch headsets real quick.
Weird.
Can I make a mechanics check to help him with his headset?
No, my Bluetooth headsets have been doing this weird thing recently where they like to drop the audio. So, but these have a thing I can plug it in, so that's fine. Anyway, sorry, I missed what you said after I spoke up.
Essentially, they look like military versions of the pods you guys were kept in. Think about them like escape pods. They're much more armored than the ones you guys were kept in, and they're enough to fit a person comfortably.
This is probably pretty. I have a question for you. What's the command to just message something to DM?
Oh, slash WGM, I think. One
Yeah,
second.
slash,
Oh, slash.
W for whisper, and then you have to leave space and start typing the person's name that you want to talk to.
What are you doing now? Caleb and Logan. Let me
just
see
check
for
my
a
phone,
second.
sorry.
Yep, okay. But I'm still gonna save what you got. Let's have a look.
It says it's not able to find somebody with the name DM.
No, just put in. Oh, 1 second. Right, put /W space GM
Oh,
and then space and then your message.
I heard D for Delta, not G for Golf.
Yeah, he said DM, but it's GM in this one. Alright, just let me see. Right. Ow. Let me. Whew. Wonder what these are. It's very high rolls.
I wanted to. We should have rolled 100. We almost rolled 100 out of 100 and 1 out of 100 in the same session.
Oh, so you can roll force dice to see if you can.
Well, that's not the right roll.
That's not the right roll. You're correct. I don't know what I'm doing, apparently.
You want to put a 1 in that center thing and get rid of the difficulty.
Yeah.
Alright, pardon me.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
What did I miss?
Fiddling around with stuff.
Did we find some loot?
Yep. Just looking at the table a second.
Both high rolls, so it's either really good loot or really bad loot.
Right, here's what you find. You find some generic stuff, some utility belts and stuff which you guys already have. But inside, you find some old rusty guns. Let's see. You find 600 credits. What appears to be a note, like a picture, with a note on the back. The picture looks to be like a tourist attraction within Houston, and on the back it says Dead Drop Floor 15 combination, and it says combination numbers.
Oh.
You also find what appears to be a combat knife,
Oh.
like in a sheath.
Oh, another one.
It's a bit thicker.
You can never have enough combat knives.
Do you draw it?
Yeah, sure.
As you draw it, you see the knife spark with electricity. Like,
Oh. It's electrified.
he gives off a barely audible hum as you hold it. You can see like bits of electricity going down the knife.
So it's working properly.
Yes.
Can come in handy, considering I don't have any EMP grenades or anything else. Now. So, that's all the loot we find together. Is that what you're saying?
Inside, yes.
Okay.
Yep. So that's 3 items. That's 600 credits, the knife, and the coordinates.
Guys, mind if I take the knife?
Nah, go right ahead.
By the way, Integra's at the bar, basically enjoying her orange juice.
Sounds good.
Right, so
I assume there's nobody inside these pods.
that's what Ruben was about doing, I believe. Essentially, Ruben, you don't feel anything from these pods.
Yeah. You kind of like, Caleb, would you be able to give me a hand with this? I do want to take a peek.
This there's 4 of them all lined up on either side, but there's a 5th one off the side leaning against the other fridges with a drape over it.
Oh. I guess I'll be more interested in the one with the drape over it first.
By the way,
She goes,
assume we split
Huh?
the credits 3 ways, right? So since there's 3 of us, 200 credits each.
that's 200 credits each.
I'll also take the picture for, you know, research purposes if we end up finding that area.
Jay does looks towards basically the pods and goes, "If you want, I can open these 4 if you wish."
Is there anybody inside of these?
Sir, you misunderstand. He opens the one next to him, and you can see the fact that inside there seems to be a lot of materials frozen within this strange blue liquid.
Yeah, I
Like, for
suspected
instance-
he was using them as refrigerators.
Essentially, these things can act as complete stasis units. Not the same as actual ice, but they've completely just stopped anything from ever getting to these materials. There's a bunch of oranges frozen in them. There's some like bags of cream and stuff in there.
Oh. That could be valuable. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to loot some oranges, and would we assume these are? I guess we wouldn't know if these are seeded or not unless we open them up. But
Well, sir, just so you understand, if you take them, then they will spoil. I suspect you did say you're heading into danger.
Yeah,
yeah,
we can't really
it's
take.
best to leave these where they are, at least for now.
Yeah, we can always return. I am still the owner of this establishment.
Yeah, that's well, what's this one in the back? He kind of points the drape.
That's a little... He's going to close the door and here's. It's like, that one I could not use for storage.
Ah,
Best not you look in there.
You're not hiding a corpse in
Why?
there or something, are ya?
He actually looks towards you and says nothing.
Oh, seriously, I was just joking. Please don't tell me that's the actual bar owner.
If that was the actual bar owner, I wouldn't have said anything. Technically, a company owns the bar, I simply run it. What's in there is a original occupant that, well, these military people did bring in. They told me to look after him, but let's just say he's not exactly responding.
Ah. You know, I'm starting to like this robot. He's got guts. Hiding a fucking corpse from military bots just so they don't fucking skin him alive. I like that.
As
I
far as they
mean-
know, their commander is alive, but I ain't saying nothing.
Wait,
so
so
he's not
I've-
in stasis.
I frantically look towards Caleb. Wait, Caleb. If the commanding robot
Yeah,
is
I'm thinking the
inside
same
that
thing.
pod,
Might be able to find some codes on a body, but we'd have to be very quick about it.
think
If
there
you
might
wish
be
to
a
look,
deadlock
but you're going to be
signal.
disappointed. I'm just going to say, good sirs, that you may be disappointed.
Why?
Does the pod appear to be functioning correctly? Like, is it like the others where it seems to be cooling and doing its function?
It seems to right now, yes.
I mean, why wouldn't he be in there in suspension? Had he passed before he was put in there?
Well, you see, sirs, these things have their own power supply. They work off of whatever you can set up to them. But, and he basically slides over. He can't actually reach all the way. He goes, if you would. He's like pointing towards the top.
Yeah, I'll pull the tarp down.
As you do see that it's still working in the same manner as the others, but inside there is a skeleton wearing what appears to be a ratted old suit. You see, when they came here, it has been off for near on a couple 100 years. So, well, all the occupants did not survive, to say the least.
Understood. I mean,
They don't know
I
I
almost-
use the others for fridges, so please don't mention that.
I almost feel. Is it weird that I could almost feel bad for military security droids?
That is correct, sir. You really should. They're not like me. I'm a more sophisticated model, designed to handle, well, people of your caliber. But they are simple machines, not really AI, more VI attempting to emulate what I can do. They
Yeah, so
follow
you don't-
instructions to a letter.
You don't
No
believe
deviation.
there's any ID or anything in this guy's body that we could use to negotiate?
I would very much doubt it. I mean, he was wearing just a simple suit to be within the pod in the first place.
Okay.
You're free to check the pod's outer shell, however. Normally they have compartments and the like.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Look for some kind of
I'll be right back.
any kind of storage device where he might have kept his belongings.
Well, you may go ahead, sir. I ain't gonna stop you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Roll me perception.
Alright, and I'll go ahead and spend a force die to upgrade that.
You're free to.
If I remember how to do it. Apparently I do not. Oh, use light side. It's right in the middle. Duh.
Okay. So, as you take a look through the pod, you find a few articles of clothing. There's a old officer coat, but there doesn't seem to be anything within. The rest of the clothing seems to have been, well, lost.
No kind of identification on the code itself.
No, it seems like normally the identification would have been held in a personal container within the pod, but it seems like there isn't one here.
I'll kind of stuff the code into my bag. Never know if I might need to impersonate an officer.
Well, I do hope you found what you wanted to, sir.
Well, unfortunately, not quite, but I suppose luck can't always be on our side.
That's completely fair, sir. Of course, I do have some beverages if you would like one. I have several, in fact, across my body.
I
Seems
could
rather
use another
proud of
cup of coffee before we hit the road.
That's completely fair, sir.
Try to sober you up.
Thankfully, I
It
do
was
have a few.
one cup, and you're gonna hassle me over that.
I do have a few things stored away, so I can slowly make some over time. But those respective reserves last forever without the proper stuff to make them. I also have some sarsaparilla.
Wait, sorry, I
I
stepped
always
away
just
for a
said,
sec.
well.
What happened with the bot inside the tank? Can we do something about that?
You mean the body inside of a pod?
Yeah.
There was only a coat that was in its personal belongings.
Ah, okay.
He's gonna give you another mug of coffee though, Caleb.
Much obliged.
Nice and hot and ready.
So now here's the question: where's Jay going to end up? Are we gonna add him to our robot menagerie back home, or does he have somewhere he wants to go?
He just wants to get away from me, apparently. He tips it. He does adjust his hat on his head. He's like, I do like to be away from here. As much as it is in my programming to stay and serve, I feel like I've outworn my welcome.
So
Yeah, I think after even if you've been programmed to stick around, I think that eventually the entertainment value wears thin after a couple of 100 years.
Well, there's no customers, so
I get it, you wanna leave and stuff, but how exactly is that gonna work? And I point to the rail that he's using to get around.
well, you look like Buddha's short socks, sir. I'm sure you could figure out how to remove me from this rail.
Integra, I have a job for you.
She comes in. You can see a bit of orange juice across her lip. It says yes.
We're taking this guy with us, and he's gonna give you all the orange juice you want.
You can see like an almost evil smirk, and Jay looks a bit worried on his brow. It's like,
Problem is he can't actually walk.
So you can see her walking towards him. Hang on a second. Let's see what she can do.
I mean, I'm sure, Caleb, that you have like a screwdriver or something. We can just disengage him from his rail. We don't have to go ripping and tearing at him.
Don't worry about it, she can be gentle.
I definitely could,
wants to.
but I'm kind of curious to see what happens.
Like I said, don't worry
Right,
about it, Ruben. I mean, when she wants to, she can be gentle.
I'm gonna have her use her cybernetics for this. She's full blown, going full hog on this. Let's see. Are you gonna help her? Or
I'm pretty sure she can handle it.
let's have a go, shall we? Not bad. So essentially, as you're standing there, you see her come over, duck under Jay a bit, grab the pole, and you can just see her. And you can hear ripping of tiles and metal, and she just rips him out straight out of the ground. You also hear a bit of ripping as she accidentally tears along her shoulder her shirt, and it's like, and she's just holding him up like he's barely weighs anything. He's like, that was a surprise.
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right, let's get out of here then.
Logan remembers the
place
first
is
time he pissed
depressing
her
me.
off. That was one hell of a night when he found out that she's that strong.
She's only strong with lifting things, sadly. Cybernetics. With that, she's
Do you
just gonna
think you'll
start
be
carrying-
able to use 2 of your hands as kind of pseudo legs until we get you fixed up proper?
Well, I could. I mean, I don't like dirtying my hands or anything. But I suppose I could, sir. Then again, if you could just leave me any old where, I don't mind laying around for a bit.
Yeah, I could put you in the back of the van.
Or I thank you kindly.
Can you shoot a gun?
That
think you
is
can
outside
shoot
of my
6
purview.
guns.
Sadly, I'm not programmed for such laborious violence. I'm programmed to serve.